Today, I will walk you through a step-by-step guide how to find your first project that matches your skill set. And let me be real, cold calling companies is not a good idea. The most will block you off. They have assistances, you have to go beyond them, or they will even don't answer on your emails. So let's check out some options we have. The easiest way to find work? Freelance platforms. But here's the catch. You have to be fast. Platforms like freelance.com, Upwork, or Fiverr are loaded with freelance projects. But as soon as they come online, they get flooded with emails. So the contractor will choose from the first ones. So two main things are important here. The first thing is be different. If you send a mail to the projects on these platforms, you need to be different. In your proposal, it must be master configured for that specific project, not a standard generic proposal or not a message, hey, I can do that, I'm open for work. No, 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 that does not work. You really have to stand out there and be fast. So the most of the platforms have this setting for email notifications as soon as a new project launches on the platform. And you need to have the notifications on your phone on and react fast, especially, or a tip is to also have templates ready for proposals for that specific projects or your niche, and then send them so that you are under the first 10 freelancers that apply for the job. And the second thing is, if the project has no phone number written down, and that's the most important point. If it has a phone number, directly call, and call as often as possible until you reach someone, because really talking to a person is 10 levels better than writing an email. You have direct feedback. You can negotiate right at the phone and can play a bit around. It's not like an email that they easily delete or just don't answer. They have you on the phone. So coming to talking to the actual client is the very most important thing. And if the project does not have a phone number written out, and most don't do this, then I recommend you research the project. Maybe if you're lucky, and sometimes that worked for me, you find the real company behind that project that searches for a freelancer. So then you can directly become beyond that contractor that is maybe between the real company and you. So they don't get money, and you can talk directly to the client. Also, you have directly the right person on your phone to talk to. Standard freelancer boards or websites are the first layer of project websites. They are pretty competitive because every freelancer is on them. That's normal. But what really is very cool, if you find something that fits in your niche, is niche specific job boards. They are a gold mine. Why? You have less competitors that are specialized in that niche or even see that platform because they never searched, and the payment is oftentimes better. So how to get a known expert in a niche? So at first you need to specialize in a niche. So choose a branch. What I mean by that, typical like healthcare, IT, and then in IT also mobile development, desktop development, server deployment, or whatsoever. So or automotive, that is a branch. And then in these branches, there are niches. For example, I work in the finance branch and I'm specialized for mobile development of investment apps, broker, or trading apps. And I'm currently in Germany in contact with all the big banks that doing projects specifically in that niche. So every bank at the moment develops mobile apps for their investment apps or trading apps. And the cool thing here is there was not a niche job board or something like that, but I found out that there are specific contractors in specific cities. They are exclusively contracting with the banks and searching freelancers that have a skill set in the finance industry. So I'm in contact with that contractors and they know all the banks. So you have niche job boards or specific contractors. They are not easy to find, so you have to research. But this barrier allows you then into a new world where you have less competition because many don't searches, don't find it, or find it randomly. But if you really dig into a niche, and search and call the peoples, call the contractors, and search for the real best contractor that has, for example, exclusive contracting rights to specific companies in a specific niche, and you can solve a problem there. That is your gold mine. There you have to go. And which branch you pick or which niche, that really depends on your background and on your preference. But you can really fast get to be an expert in that. But with a few weeks of research, content creation, and tutorial creation, you are then known as an expert. They see you as an expert, and really contractor search, especially for that. Someone that knows this field very good and can do the main task. For example, I'm a mobile developer, but I have a background in finance. So that fits specifically in that niche. And now, as I had the first customer in that niche, the others come very easily. Which brings me to one of the most important points. And I already mentioned that. Be your own marketer. Create something for free that is valuable. And now, specifically for the niche you pick. For example, you have the niche finance and finance mobile apps. I will create articles, post on LinkedIn, or create YouTube videos about how to create an investment app that is secure, how to store data secure, how to do that all. And while creating that content, and that is very important, you do not have to be an expert in the first place, but while you create that content, you will get an expert in that field, or at least have pre-knowledge you can bring in. And that also you can then later take as reference for the contractor. So if you apply for that project, then you can say, hey, check out this, and this resource. I already did it. I teach it. I know what I'm doing. And that they can show then to their client. And then you get the job. That's the very best thing you can do. So how to find the first project when you're just starting out and have not much experience, and that is a problem. The solution is pretty easy. I did it myself. What you can do is search for startups. Most startups just search a professional in a specific field that gets shit done. Startups, especially, have often MVPs to develop, things to do fast, not perfect, which is the perfect entry for you. You also will gain tons of experience from that. Don't get me wrong, startups are not the best clients because often they make contracts for a short time frame, and the payment thing, you have to be cautious that they really pay you. But the cool thing about that, you often build projects from scratch for startups, which then gives you a lot of experience because you build a project from scratch. Most that work in the 9 to 5 jobs didn't build something from scratch yet. They come to a ready-made nest, a ready-made project, and just maintain it. So you have that build from scratch thing, and through the smaller time frame contracts, you then get more experience points because you go from company to company to company. And as you gain knowledge, your CV will get larger and larger and larger, and this experience will get seen from bigger clients. And you can apply to bigger jobs, to bigger projects for bigger clients with that experience. You can bring that experience to them. And that is very valued by lots of clients that you know how to, for example, for app development, build an app from scratch and bring it right, the whole pipeline to the store, the whole thing, the whole round trip. And yeah, then just enhance your clients, go bigger, step by step by step. When you're just starting out, no worry, in a year, lots of things can happen and you will be faster than you expect. Very, very important. Please don't miss out about that one. Freelancers are not only your competitors, they can be your best friends. The most of my projects I either get from personal recommendations or through my courses. And personal recommendations is very important, but how they come? Well, I'm networking with a lot of freelancers and they are currently in projects, but oftentimes they had previous project and the client calls again, or new clients calls them for a project, but they are actively working on a project right at the moment. So what they will do is forward that project to me or to other freelancing friends, and I do it my own. If I'm currently working for a customer, I have no time, but I will give a positive image about myself if I can recommend someone good I know. So I will recommend another freelancer where I know he searches at the moment for a project. So this is very important. Network with freelancers. The bigger your freelancing network is, the more friends you have in that branch, the better you will do. And the last thing, cold outreach. I need to cover it. I did it my own, but I did it wrong at the beginning. I did 200 phone calls a month and I did not get a contract from that. But what you can do and what I already did, what works is email or phone call specific companies. Which companies? Companies from where you know they work with freelancers. You see them on the job board, so you know are they writing out jobs. But I will not cold outreach for that project because that's not in my niche. That is not my profession. But I know they work with freelancers, and they have some people working in that niche that you do. For example, for me, if the company has a mobile app, that would be a potential thing. And if I see they contract freelancers in another field, not mobile app, I know, okay, the company at least works with freelancers and has a team somewhere that works with mobile apps. So what I then do and what works is I offer them a workshop, maybe just 1 or 2 hour workshop of a specific niche type of thing I can teach their team for a few €100. And yes, that is not a big contract, but oftentimes with cold outreach, you will not you will not get the big contracts. But what you get is an invitation in their house where you can get to know the team as an expert, teaching them some small little thing, and that builds trust. And if they ever have a problem, they will call you. And yes, it's worth your time because you get a little bit of money and you get a connection. And that sometimes is worth more than anything. So finding your first projects can be hard, but with these tips, I hope I can help you. They helped me a lot, especially when I noticed how important networking is and how important teaching is. And now, as I'm specifically an expert in a specific niche, I have a pretty good standing, a network, many connections, and also have done a lot of coachings already. So for me now it's easy. When you start, it might be difficult. So start step by step by step and try things out. If you have a financial backup, you have time to try things out and you will get there.